to try out a new trailer that I have for hauling wood tonight. So here's the trailer that I had built. Very basic design. We just cut down an axle. There's some good leaf springs on it to absorb the weight. We space this so that from the outside diameter it's as wide as my ATV rack, and so that way when I'm maneuvering through tight trails with this, it should be able to go everywhere that my three-wheeler goes. And we're about to hook this on and give it a try. See how maneuverable this is at the trail. So in here I got cutting the other night with the chainsaw, and I've got quite a bit of stuff down through here, so I'm going to have to get off and do a little bit of work, trim this stuff up, and get links of it on the wagon here. Okay, there's log number one, and that's about 10 foot log. The trailer's about 8 feet, I guess. Some of these trees I cut are right across my trail. I've got to get these out of here first. Just about dark now. I don't have a headlight on my three-wheeler here, so I'm going to have to rely on my headlamp tonight to go home. I'll turn my headlamp on here, it might make it better. There. I could kind of guess what my three-wheeler can pull for weight. These are a 250cc engine, so it's not an incredibly powerful engine in them. They are geared low though in the first gear for hauling. The 84 models actually had a low range in them, which was really awesome for crawling along, hauling heavy weight. But these ones are just geared that the first gear is geared quite low. And so we're about to test this out and see if it's going to haul that. Yeah, that's about a dozen pieces, all over 10 feet long on the back of this, and all of fairly similar diameter. All of it's green, so it's quite heavy this time of year. Trailer seems very sturdy. I think that's going to hold weight no problem. Let's start up and see how this does hauling. Okay, we've made it out with our first load of logs. There's one of our piles for next year over there, and these logs are going to go on this little pile that I started here right off my driveway. That way we can pick them up easy and take them out of here in the spring. Now, shout out to Joe Ward Sr. for the trailer. It seems to be working great, and you can see it has the option to add rails that would come up and allow you to put your logs even higher on this, but I estimated it about right that a dozen logs is all this would haul. I ended up picking a couple more up along the way on the way out, and that seemed to make the engine work pretty hard. So I think what we have on it is about all that we're going to carry, but that saves me a lot of carrying on my shoulder for sure. We're coming into the era of tractors here on father-son farming and forestry. Okay, so I've got a couple skids running underneath this pile, and that keeps everything up off the ground. And then we're going to pile everything here for the winter. In the spring we come in with the chainsaw and we cut it all to length, throw it on the trailer and take it home. Got a partial load of logs on there now, and we're just heading through the forest to grab some more. I have a turnaround spot right here where I can go right or left, and it does a little circle around that group of trees there in front of us. Very important when you're working with tractors in the woods to have these types of spots in your trails, because otherwise you have to haul, your trailer a long distance maybe through a trail before you get a spot that you can turn easily. So after every so long of a stretch of trail, I try to find a place where I can do a turnaround like this. Now the trailer seems to be maneuvering really well. I'm going to make my turn here. Got to put some air in my front tire of my trike because it's not taking the turns very well. And then unfortunately my next pile of logs, I've got a pile back here, but it's all the way down the trail. I don't know if you can see it right over there where my light is on, and I've got to get those up now to the trailer, or I've got to get this trailer backed up, and I can guarantee I'm not going to be very good at backing up that trailer. Second load of wood of the night is ready to go. Let's haul this one along the trail. See how it does. You can see I'm starting to run over the rails there because I had some smaller diameter stuff. But the rails keep any wood from rubbing against the tire, of course. Yeah, I can feel the engines laboring a little bit with that, but not too bad. Trailer's maneuvering really well through here. I'm having no problems at all with it. There's the gatehouse coming up. Right there, it cuts pretty close to that ditch, but it does get around the corner there okay. got to take a walk through my trees here now and see if I can come across any that I might have taken down the other day with my chainsaw. Most of this stuff you can see is all just garbage woods in here, but I came through here zipping things down, and I'm sure I left a few pieces. When I think back, prior to owning my land over here, I spent 15 years scavenging firewood, which meant I didn't cut anything down. It was all stuff that was already cut down on like other cuttings, other blocks. So there's a piece I've got hanging from the tree I'll have to get trimmed up. And here's a maple down here. You can see the flag on it. So I'll take that one out with me. But yeah, years scavenging wood off of old wood lots, off of the side of the road when the power company would come through and trim back the power line sometimes. And so this is actually really nice for me to be able to come out here and just cut whatever trees I want to take out of my forest, pick them up and haul them away on my trailer. We're on our third load of wood here now. Maybe half a trailer load. We'll keep going. There's more I had down over here. So I know roughly what block of woods I was working in the other night. And I just have to go around now and grab everything that I put down. So there's another nice piece there running. And yeah, I don't want this stuff to sit on the ground all winter or get covered by the first snow here of the year. So we're going to get everything up today and loaded on the trailer and pulled out of the woods here. What bit of softwood I did cut the other night is all junk stuff, just rotten. You can see around here there's a lot of crowded rotten trees, and this time of year I focus mostly on my hardwoods. This is maple sitting here to be hauled out. When you get into cutting softwoods, good ones, then you have to take the bark off them as well and get those also piled up on skids off the ground for the winter. And to do that and the firewood at the same time is difficult. So I usually go through with one focus of taking out my hardwood first and a lot of this junky softwood. And then, as I showed on a video maybe a week ago, we use a lot of that junk. It just gets hauled off and put on fences for free livestock fencing around the property. And then once that's all hauled out of there, then it's going to be easier for me to take or see and take my good softwoods that are left that I want to use for logs. And I can cut them down and take the bark off them in the spring. As hard as it is to see out here tonight with just a headlamp, you can tell this is a block of wood that needs a lot of work. And when you do your firewood or your logs for building with, and you do that ahead of your brush, then this is the problem you run into, is having to walk your stuff out of areas like this and over all of these things. I got an armload of logs here on my shoulder, and it makes it really difficult when all that brush is on the ground. So I've got a couple nights here of just picking up brush to go to try to clean up this block of woods, and then it'd be a lot easier for me to go in and do the rest of my logging. I've done a pretty thorough scan through here, and I think all that's left is rotten softwoods. Pretty hard to tell in amongst all these trunks. I know this one's poplar, but I don't usually take poplar for firewood. I just don't think this tree has much use at all really for me over here. But it'll go on my livestock fence, as will all of this junk through here. There's a birch I just noticed. Good sized tree, and that one's actually cut down. Hard to tell, but there's the stump there. So when you get a tree hung up real bad like that and the limbs Obviously I was rushing the other night with the chainsaw and didn't want to stop to do anything with it. But I'm just going to come underneath it here now and put it on my shoulder. And I'll try to walk out through that brush right there. And as I walk backwards with this, hopefully it's going to come loose and fall to the ground. That did it. Jesus, heavy tree. It landed right next to our wagon and our three-wheeler, so that's perfect. I'll cut this one up, and there's a few more lengths of firewood, probably at least 3 lengths. That's a good 30 feet tall or more. I don't know if the camera can catch this, but a bunch of things sparkle out here in the winter time. You can kind of see it with the frost. Makes for a really cool effect as you're walking around through the forest out here. See, as the night moves on, I'm putting more and more weight on this trailer. I've got it up several inches above the rails there now. Hopefully that last large log there won't bounce off on the way through the trail. But we're going to see if the old Honda Big Red's up for pulling that. Come on, girl. Ah, shit, we lost that log already. Alright, we're cruising through the trails now with this thing. I've got the hang of it and see how it maneuvers. And this thing does great. Handles really well through the trails. It's going to be a great help to me out here in the woods. Hey, that concludes another night's work. We got about 6 trailer loads of logs hauled out tonight on the new Woods trailer. That worked out awesome for us, as did the Honda Big Red, as always. That gets all of this firewood up off the ground so that it doesn't get covered by snow and maybe rot over the winter months. And we're now caught up on all the hardwood that we had cut. And so after this, I've got several nights worth of brush to go and haul out of my way and put up on the livestock fencing that we have. And then I can go back to cutting. I'll do another round of cutting after that's done and haul another bunch of logs out. So we try to keep up with this so that nothing stays on the ground and rots. The trailer now allows us to go deeper and deeper into our forest over the next few years and cut out our firewood that we want removed. So that's going to be a great help to us. This winter is going to be really difficult for a lot of people because of the rising costs of fuel and things that are going on in different parts of the world. And so if anybody's looking to do this for themselves, we have videos on the entire process of selecting trees, cutting them, and chunking them to lengths like this, hauling them out, cutting them to your firewood lengths, splitting them, and piling them. And so anybody who wants to learn the process, by all means, go back on our channel, and everything's there. If you follow our videos, you get an idea of how our workflow goes over here. And hopefully that would be a help to you, and know that there are other crazy bastards like myself out here with headlamps on in minus 10 degrees Celsius, cutting their firewood for the winter. So it's going really good for us so far. We're about 2 weeks away from Christmas 2022. And we're doing really well with what firewood we have down. And so we'll stay at this for the next few weeks. And when we think we have enough firewood, then I'll turn my attention to the softwoods and start harvesting those and taking the bark off them and setting those aside for the blockhouse that we're going to build in the spring. So stay with us. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.